Hello, I am going to be giving a eulogy today. This eulogy will be in future tense and it'll be partially fiction. Okay, hope you guys like it. My mother was a wonderful woman who sadly passed away at the age of 87. She was diagnosed with Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, also known as CJD. CJD is a degenerative brain disorder with no cure that leads to dementia and then death. She struggled with this disease for over 20 years, and we all wanted to relieve her of her pain. My mom was born in Oklahoma City on December 6, 1960. She grew up with a full family, both parents, a sister, and two brothers. Things were quite different back then, and as a little girl, her family was poor. However, her mom, my grandmother Mary, never wanted her to feel their financial struggle. So she would always hand sew all the children's clothes. She would create wonderful toys for Christmas and bake beautiful food for holidays for everyone. My grandfather was a geologist, and he eventually assisted oil companies formed by directing them to where oil could be found underground. This led to a large increase in salary, causing my family to live in a much more lavish lifestyle. As a teenager, my mom became very rebellious. She began smoking at the age of 12 and partying in high school. She had fake IDs to go to bars with her friends, and she would sneak out just to make her mom mad. She felt as if her mother hated her and that she would never be good enough compared to her siblings. I was born with 3 biological siblings. My sister Sarah, who is 63, my little sister Samantha, who is 45, and I have an older brother who should be around the age of 70 that I've never met. She went through a rough period with my biological father, who she was with for 19 years. She drifted apart from her family members, and I know that this was one of her biggest regrets. She explained to me one day how, when I was younger, this supposed psychic came into her workplace a long time ago. He stopped for a minute and said, "I don't mean to bother you, but I just want to let you know that you have 4 spirits surrounding you." He went on to explain that there were 2 men and 2 women. The older woman wanted to apologize for being so bitter. She was just all alone. My mother realized he was talking about her grandmother, who was extremely hateful to everyone around her. He then started to describe a man who wanted to let her know that he was proud of her and he always loved her. Starting to cry, my mom knew that this was her father, who passed away by liver cancer. Next, the man began describing this woman who kept saying, "I'm sorry for being such a bitch," and she felt extremely sorry for how she treated my mom growing up. My mom could validate that, saying that this man was telling the truth. That's exactly how her mom would have worded it. She started to cry, realizing that this is true, and then the man began to explain the 4th spirit, who was an older gentleman. He kept saying, "Come sit on his lap," like she used to do when she was little, and he wanted to let her know that he got his arm back. My mom, trying to question the guy, asked him which arm. He looks for a minute and he goes, "His left." Knowing this was her grandfather, who she loved very dearly growing up, and he did lose his left arm in the Second World War. This made her realize that she could not take people around her for granted, and that she really missed all of her relatives she disconnected with. She was a loving grandmother to all of her grandkids, and she would try and spoil them rotten. Her favorite thing to do with them was take them out to the movies. My mom was my best friend. I came to her for everything, from relationships to my job to even daily activities. She was always there for me when I needed her most. Without her, I feel a little lost. I lost my closest friend. I do not want to take this life on without her. But I know she would not want to see me upset. She would tell me it broke her heart to ever see me upset. I hope I continue to make her proud of the woman she raised me to be. Thank you.